and then the world itself, by any means necessary, however violent, or cruel, or efficient. By severe drought, brought on by weather wars, conducted secretly using aerial contaminants and high-altitude electromagnetic waves, in a state of perpetual war. To create problem, reaction, solution scenarios to distract, enrage, and enslave American citizens at home. With tools like the Patriot Act and the National Defense Authorization Act, which abridge the Constitution in the name of national security. The militarization of police forces in cities across the U.S., the building of prison camps by the Federal Emergency Management Agency with no stated purpose, the corporate takeover of food and agriculture, pharmaceuticals and healthcare, even the military in clandestine agendas to fatten, dull, sicken, and control a populace already consumed by consumerism.
And I encourage you all to go shopping more.
A government that taps your phone, collects your data, and monitors your whereabouts with impunity. A government preparing to use that data against you when it strikes. And the final takeover begins.
The takeover of America.
By a well-oiled and well-armed multinational group of elites that will cull, kill, and subjugate.
Happening as we sit here.
It's happening all around us.
The other shoe waiting to drop.
The banks will announce a security action necessitating their computers to go offline all weekend.
Digital money will disappear.
They can just steal your money?
Followed by the detonation of strategic electromagnetic pulse bombs to knock out major grids.
What will seem like an attack on America by terrorists or Russia.
An invasion of the U.S.
The Russians tried it in 47.
In ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Quadash, and double honors to those great millstone, Wallet is truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I'd like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is the main agenda. So I'd like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, have a quick precept in the book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. So we seen the first video. We already knowing that the stage is set, all things are ready, and we already knowing about the main agenda or their main plan is what? Total control, take over of America, the NWO. So we already knowing there's all sorts of rumors, disorder out of chaos, it's saying it could be a EMP attack, say it could be civil war, civil unrest, a lot of things that they're constantly putting right into your face. Also, this weather manipulating device that they have, but we already knowing that, the Lord is in perfect control, causing these things to come upon the earth, left and right, he can use the left hand or as well as the right hand. The Lord is in perfect control. So we constantly seeing these agendas, these plans that they're trying to bring forth. And also we know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So we're seeing right now, these things are constantly are picking up, also, it's already rumors of infrastructure attack, some type of cyber attack. These things are constantly left and right, rumors of invasion, of Russia and China troop, which in fact these Bible prophecies are constantly lining up just like clockwork. And one thing about the men of the Lord, we'll constantly warn you about all these things. And also the so-called purge, which in fact they are constantly putting these things in certain movies, like, Leave the World Behind, Civil Unrest, also the movie I just brought out, The Purge. So one thing about it, we know that we are very close to these times, and one thing about it, we know that he's getting ready to make his move. He's getting ready to bring forth his agenda, that plan, that plot, which in fact is the NWO, Total Control, a digital society where you will not be able to buy or sell if you do not take it under the skin. So a lot of these things are coming into play. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing what's going on over in the Middle East, the so-called Middle East. We're seeing that these things are constantly picking up left and right, order out of chaos, and these things could strike at any given time. But one thing about it, we knowing that he's getting ready to make his move, because what he's knowing that his time is very short. He knowing that he's seeing that his days is determined. He's having a hard time to controlling what the narrative right now. And one thing about the Lord is constantly making Esau bare and bare. We already knowing about these UFO sightings. They're trying to get a handle on it. They're trying to get a controller, because they seeing all these sightings, people reporting about these UFO or UAPs, and also now they constantly trying to change the narrative with these drones, Salaki, so we seeing right now that we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. He's constantly trying to get that advantage. He's getting ready to try to make his move, come down with great wrath to bring forth this solution, the NWO. And also we seen in that first video whereby they showed you a lot of these FEMA camps, quarantine camps, these chipping stations. A lot of these things are getting ready to come into play. So he's getting ready to come down with great wrath that we have never seen before. A time of trouble that's coming upon us. Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. The men of the Lord, we're constantly warning you about. Also, we're warning you about the MOTB. We're working overtime for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. We're being a watchman for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So all these things are constantly happening in life, right? All sorts of events are happening. All sorts of different calamities around the world is constantly happening left and right. So, we're seeing that he's putting these things into place right before our eyes. And one thing about it, we knowing that the devil is getting ready to fill his belly, his agenda, his plan, his evil scheme, total control, NWO. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, to make you a perpetual slave, that badge of servitude is coming soon. We're constantly warning you, left and right. It is here. It is at the door. So now, let's go here to 2 Corinthians. No, let's go here to second. Let's go here to second Ezra. Let's go to second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. And it reads that, for the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. So we already know we're coming upon that time. It's going to be Egyptian against Egyptian. It's going to be a lot of lawlessness. It's getting ready to come upon us. So we've seen in the first video how they kept giving you all these different scenarios by a well-oiled machine, which in fact are the global elites. They're trying to bring it forth. These agendas. They constantly imagine a vain thing. Constantly thinking that he will rule forever. Constantly opposing and exalting himself. Above Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. But one thing about it, we knowing that he is in for a rude awakening. So let's read this once again. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draws nigh, or near, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. That's exactly what they want. The modern day sword is it's the gun, all sorts of weaponry, when this civil unrest come upon, a civil war, exactly what they want. This nation is divided. We already know that it will not stand. And one thing about the Lord is constantly bringing this place down brick by brick. So we constantly seeing it happening left and right. So the sword and the destruction drawing nearer and nearer. So all hell could break loose at any given time. And so that's why you're seeing people always having a sense of urgency that something is getting ready to happen. Something is coming right upon us. So this is the quiet before the storm. The stage is set. All things are ready. Once again, verse 16 said, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So one thing about it, when this time of trouble come, they're not going to regard the law enforcement. They're not going to regard the government official. They're not going to regard the military. They're not going to regard each other. It's going to be kill or be killed, a time of trouble that we have never seen before. In the mental law, we're constantly warning you. We're constantly sounding the alarm, even though we're sounding like a broken record. Whether you were here or whether you will forbear, we're coming upon this time. So a lot of things are fast approaching. And one thing about it, it's time to seek the Lord while he can be found. Verse 17. And one thing about it is that we already knowing that if Trump get into office and try to pull off what he's trying to pull off, he's the president-elect, we knowing that he's talking about this major deportation. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things that he's trying to bring forth, we already know this is going to bring forth a lot of tension, a lot of unrest, uproars of the people. This is exactly what they want. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Once again, verse 12, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of what? The lockdowns, the mandates, something that is mandatory, the military lockdown, military all around you, trying to make this place out of what? A police state. That's exactly what Donald Trump, DJ Donald Trump, was saying, that he is going to use the military in order to deport a lot of these illegal, so-called illegal migrants. And also, we already knowing that they are going to be targeting what? The people of color, or whatever, the people of the book, which in fact is the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Indians. And one thing about it, you will be a target. That's why it's called the time of Jacob's trouble. And one thing about it is that we already knowing that only that 1/3 remnant will make it out of here. So they're going to be setting up what? Checkpoints, if, seeing that you have the right credentials under your skin. Also, these FEMA camps are getting ready to play a major role. These 15-minute cities, things are getting ready to go digital, programmable, also implantable. We constantly warning you left and right. It's getting ready to be a cashless society. And also, we're coming upon a great economic collapse. The end of the dollar is the end of America. So we know we are very close. And also, the war drums are beating. Rumors of wars are all over the place. Nations are rising against nations. We are here. Verse 18 said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. They shall be very afraid, because a lot of men is going to be just like a woman travailing with a child when this time of trouble comes, the beginning of sorrow. A lot of things are coming down the pipeline. We constantly warn you, great mourning, great death, great sorrows is happening right before our face. It's getting ready to intensify. We are here. Whether you will hear or whether you will forbear, it really does not matter. Bible prophets are speaking as we speak. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because the lack of bread and great tribulation. We coming upon that time, a great economic collapse, food shortage, rolling blackout, no water, no resource. A lot of people are going to die in a great number. We constantly warn you left, right. Disease is going to set in, all sorts of plagues and all sorts of confusion, all sorts of death and destruction once again. So we knowing that we're very close to these things. The Lord is getting ready to bring it to pass. The plagues are not going to slack down for a moment. Also, once again, this place is going to be invaded by China and Russia troops in collaboration with NATO. We already know that NATO right now, we seeing that friction is growing. At some point, we know that NATO is going to have a disagreement with the West, which in fact is the U.S. So we seeing right now these things are constantly picking up. We're already knowing what's going on with Israel and Syria, and also with Israel and Iran. And also, there's already rumors that Russia, China, and I think I can't think of the other nation, North Korea, and there's one more. They're going to support Iran if Israel in the West attacks. So we already know that this Joel chapter 3 war is lining up. Ezekiel chapter 38, Jeremiah chapter 50, Jeremiah chapter 51 is lining up. The least of the flock should draw them out. So a lot of things are coming upon us at a fast pace. So the Lord is constantly breaking the staff of the bread. So now let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 16. And that start up at verse 16. Verse 18, Salaki. And it reads, at the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And out of the Bible, we at the beginning of sorrows with the birth pain, the transition of power. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes. So these things are constantly going to pick up, the great mournings, famines, great death, and the beginning of war, the beginning of what? Of World War III. It is at hand. These things are constantly going to pick up left and right. Things are constantly intensifying. So that's why people have a sense of something is getting ready to happen. Also, a lot of people right now, you go on with your daily life, and people are feeling it. It don't even seem like what they call this pagan holiday, Christmas. A lot of people not feeling it at all because they already know that we at the verge of something happening. Something big is coming down the pipeline. We already know that we are very close. And also we know that we're at the end of the year. We already know this year is going out with a bang. And one thing about it, we know that we are very close to a great tribulation period that we have never seen before. The beginning of sorrows, great mourning, great death once again. And also we already know that this devil is getting ready to make his move. So when the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up that standard. Spiritual power is getting ready to come in a big way. Supernatural intervention also, so the Lord is going to protect us in ways that we do not know how. The main agenda, they'll get ready to bring it forth. We're constantly warning you left and right. A lot of people right now still are thinking that they are a good case. Let's read verse 19. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 19 said, behold, famine, plagues, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. So one thing about it, we seeing these things are happening to mend your way, examine yourself, get your house and go in order, let go of the mortal thoughts, and one thing about it, and walk accordingly, constantly do the will of the Lord, knowing what the will of the Lord is. Also be circumspect, redeem the time wisely, because it's coming very quickly upon us, at a fast pace. And a lot of people will be unaware. A lot of people are going to give up the ghost. And we're seeing right now these plagues are constantly picking up. Verse 20 said, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always mindful of the scourges. So a lot of people are not mindful of the scourge or the plagues or these events, calamities that happen around the world. They're thinking that, hey, it's going to pass. No, it's not going to pass. It's going to constantly intensify. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, the day of the Lord is upon us. And one thing about it, and also the second coming of our Lord and Savior, and also our salvation is at the door. And we're constantly warning you. Verse 21 said, behold, victuals shall be good and cheap upon the earth, for they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evil grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. A lot of people think they're a good case, getting ready for these wicked holidays, going on these vacations. They are going, talking about their anniversary, getting married, giving into marriage. A lot of things are happening in the house of mirth, folly. A lot of things are happening, constantly being unbelievers, despising the words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. We're living in the days of Noah. We know what happened in Noah's time. You know what I'm saying? Also, it's getting ready to happen once again in these times, but it's going to top everything that we ever seen in history. It's going to top 70 AD. It's going to top the flood. And one thing about it is, if the Lord is not on your side, you will be unalive. Verse 22 said, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So we are very close to that time that main agenda is coming fast approach. The new world order in that second video is exactly what they trying to accomplish, in collaboration with the MOTB, that grain of rice. It is here. It is at the door. The stage is set. All things are ready. And the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So now let's go down to verse 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 69. Salakia. Let's go down here. So we got to make ye ready for the battle. That battle is what? Jacob's trouble. It is fast approach. Everyone on the planet is getting ready to be tried. Your faith is getting ready to be tried. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to find out, who is on his side. That is the house of David, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So now, 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idols, with things offered unto idols. So as it's getting ready to happen, we know what that idol is. And one thing about that grain of rice, and one thing about it, we're seeing that great multitude is kindled over us. A lot of things are happening around the world simultaneously, and a lot of people is not aware. The rumors of wars are all over the place. Tensions is rising. The war drums are beating. You know what I'm saying? The thermonuclear exchange is very close, and also we already know they have things in place. That they're getting ready to bring force. To enforce, to make mandatory. So these FEMA camps are in place. These guillotine. These shipping stations, these facilities, these 15-minute cities. A lot of these things are coming into place. And one thing about it, if you do not comply, you will be totally destroyed. But we're going to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. He's in perfect control. Verse 69 says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot. And that about it, if you consent or if you comply, if you lean or depend, you will be trodden underfoot. That grain of rice. A lot of people going to trust in the strength of Egypt, and it will be their shame, it will be their confusion. You will be a disgrace. And also you will have to suffer that second death, which in fact is the lake of fire. Verse 70 said, for there shall be in every city and the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So one thing about it's going to be that time is coming. A lot of things are coming down the pipeline. It's coming, fast approaching. A terrible time is coming upon us. But one thing about it, through much tribulation, ye shall enter the kingdom of heaven. Verse 71 said, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Who fear the Lord? The elect, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. But when they do what they do, the Lord is going to lift up that standard. You know what I'm saying? A divine spiritual way to escape. And one thing about it, the Lord is going to show forth his great glory, his great power in that time of trouble. And one thing about it, the Lord is going to be a safe haven for those that fear him, which in fact is the elect. Verse 72, so for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses, because it's going to be a lawless time. It's going to be food shortage, no water, no resources. People are going to be like madmen. People are going to be like animals. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, that, a lot of people are going to have a vexation of spirit. A lot of people is not going to know what to do. They're going to go crazy in that time of trouble. They just, it's going to be a time, once again, that we have never seen before. I know I'm saying that over and over, but it's just through the spirit. And it says here, food shortage, rolling blackouts. A lot of things are coming. The book of Eli, look at that movie. A lot of things happening in that movie. It was a lawless time. Kill or be killed. Egyptian against Egyptian. Nation against nation. City against city. Brother against brother. Verse 73 said, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Levels of adversity. That straight gate. But the Lord said, will not come near thee. So we'll be in that secret place of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai, because what we fear the Lord, we love the Lord. And one thing about the Lord is only coming back for that 1/3 remnant. We don't care what this devil and the scenarios, things that he has planned. The main agenda is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So we know that we're very close. Let's get this right here. Verse 74 says, Hear, O ye my beloved, says the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So all we must do is trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai, and the Lord is going to do the rest. So now let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Matthew chapter, Mark chapter 13. Mark chapter 13, and we'll close out here in these last two precepts here. It says here, it says, for in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation which the Almighty created unto this time, neither shall be. Verse 20, and except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom he has chosen, he has shortened the days. So that's why we're seeing this time constantly picking up. These days are getting shorter and shorter. Things are accelerating. These problems are speeding up. things are not prolonging anymore. And also we seeing that these agendas, this plan that this red devil has put into place, they also is coming to pass, but he's in for a rude awakening. And the Lord said he will not be able to perform his enterprise. So we are very close to these things are happening. They're at the door. And also we know we constantly got to watch, pray without ceasing, because we knowing that the Lord is getting ready to show up and do a mighty work. And also we knowing that, that this red devil is getting ready to try to perform his enterprise. Also we knowing that the heathens are raging. Imagine a vain thing, something that is not profitable. And also we knowing that right now that our salvation is at the door. UFO sightings are all across the world. Bible prophecies are speaking loud and clear. And also the men of the Lord, doing these video epistles and highways and byways. And one thing about we know that the Lord is going to bring forth the famine of the word is fast approaching. You got to get it while it's hot. One thing about it, the same that endure, the same shall be saved. So the title of the day's lesson, once again, is the main agenda. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.